Hello, and welcome to my first UFC 4 fighter tutorial or how to use video. I'm going to be starting off with Jon Jones. Jon Jones is one of my favorite fighters to use in this game, just because in general I feel like the higher up weight classes are more fun to play with due to fighters actually gassing out when they swing a ton. I feel like that's a big problem with the lower divisions. You can just throw hundreds of strikes around and not have a problem. And also, the counters feel like they do a lot more damage in these weight classes, where in the lower weight classes, it feels like if you get a good pull counter or if you slip a punch, your counter doesn't feel as strong. It doesn't feel as strong as it did in UFC 3, which is a slight problem I have with the game, but again, in the higher weight classes, it's not as big of a deal. So just to start off, we're going to look at his perks. He has Grinder and Like Glue, which help his grappling on the feet. They're just going to help his clinch grappling so you can do it for longer, and it makes his advances and counters better on the feet. He also has Wrestle Clinic, so if you take your opponent down and you're on top, you're gonna be able to deny them better. Gonna help you with ground and pound, and if you're trying to work submissions. For standing, these two perks are big for a stand game. Razor Wire and Frontal Assault are gonna help his knees, elbows, and also his front and side kicks. So just looking at his stats, stand-up stats, kind of shocking. His punch speed is only an 88 and his punch power is only an 87. Not very high. When you look at Daniel Cormier, higher. Dominic Reyes, higher. Glover Teixeira, higher punch power and punch speed. So really not impressive punching stats, but he does have good kick speed at 94. And his switch stance is also amazing, even though switch stance doesn't really do much in this game. And another good thing that he has going for him is that accuracy. 98 accuracy is going to help you hit opponents while they're moving. Grappling, obviously, Jon Jones has great grappling. His clinch striking is amazing, ground striking is amazing, and he has good submissions. Not too great on the bottom with only 89 bottom control, but on top, he's obviously a fantastic fighter. Cardio and chin, very good. Also good recovery, so that means if you get rocked, you're going to be able to get unrocked quicker, get to your senses faster. And for his top moves, well, these aren't really good representation of his top moves, I think, but the spinning elbow does have some good, niche uses. So let's get into practice mode here. We're going to be going against Daniel Cormier, just for this demonstration. In general, when you're using Jon Jones, you want to be using a kickboxing heavy style. His weakness, really, is getting in these long, drawn-out boxing exchanges, which a lot of new players like to do. They like to get in there and just swing, but this is not where Jon Jones is at his best. Jon Jones is at his best utilizing his kicks, keeping his opponent at bay, and mixing up his kicks. So for the first kick, his teep to the body. This is just the bread and butter kick for most fighters in the game. If you're standing, you can keep your opponent at bay with that. Or, while you're moving, if you do the move while you're moving, you're going to be able to push your opponent back a lot farther. And this is just a good kick because it's simple to do. You can do it off a jab, which makes it faster. And it also has the mix-up. So this is just one example of kind of how you want to play with Jon Jones. Is he has this kick to the body, and he also has a very similar front kick to the head. So you do the kick to the body by using LT, RB, and B at the same time. That's how you do this kick. And to do it to the head, you just don't use LT. So the move is just RB plus B. You do a similar kick to the head. Now with Jon Jones, this is going to be a recurring theme that he's going to have very similar looking kicks. One goes to the body, one goes to the head. And what you want to do is you want to try and intercept your opponents with these kicks, mix it up, and just hit them with those nice, clean knockouts. When you hit your opponent with a mix-up, they block low, but you kick them in the head, or they're blocking their head, and you get them with a nice rock to the body. Very satisfying to do. So again, he has those kicks. Another good kick that you can use just while you're standing still, and say your opponent tries to come up towards you. If you hit him with this kick, which is LT plus LB plus B. This is a great kick to do while you're standing still. It will push your opponent back if they're trying to approach you. I do not recommend using this kick though while you're moving forward. If you do it while you're moving forward, it is slow. It is slow and your opponent's going to be able to sidestep it or just move out of the way. And that is a big problem in general with Jon Jones in this game and a lot of kickboxers in this game. In UFC 3, it was much easier to connect with these kicks while your opponent was moving. But in UFC 4, it is much easier to just get out of the way of the kicks. If your opponent is just moving like this, you are going to whiff a lot. The kick accuracy is not nearly as good as it was in UFC 3, even with Jon Jones was a 98 accuracy stat. That's something I'd like to see them change in the future. So maybe in the future this won't apply as much, but that's kind of a problem for now. So again, to do this this kick right here, it's going to be LT plus LB plus B, and that is on Xbox. So for another good kick for Jon Jones is LT plus LB plus A. So that's gonna have, if you just tap these buttons, you're gonna do this kick right here. It's another good push kick, and it's nice and it's fast. And like most of his other kicks, you can mix it up to the head. So you do it to the head by doing a uppercut, A plus X, and then you just hold LB with it. You're gonna do this kick to the head. So again, you have the kick to the body, kick to the head. It's just a nice little mix-up. Another thing that you can do is if you do LT plus LB plus A, similar to this kick, instead of just tapping the buttons though, if you hold it down, you're going to do the spin. Now these are my favorite kicks to use with Jon Jones because they really hit hard. These spin to the body. It's going to be slower than this kick, but it does much more damage. And if you can also make it faster by doing the jab beforehand. That's going to see that spin animation is going to come out faster. And like all of Jon Jones' other kicks, you can mix it up to the head. LB plus RB plus A is going to do this kick to the head. Oh, my bad. Messed up there. But there we go. It's going to do it to the head. And look at how much damage that did to Daniel Cormier there. Just that raw kick. Boom, he's down. It is a dangerous kick. Super, super fun kick to use. And it hits like a train. So now we've gone over some of his best kicks. Just in general, how you want to mix up with these kicks and get your opponent back, keep them on their heels. He also has his amazing clinch work. So once you get your opponent into the tie by hitting a knee on them, just like that, LT plus B to hit them to the body, or A to the body, and then if you hold LB, you'll get them to the head. Once you have them like this, you can get that day one cheese choke. This thing was annoying when the game first came out. You hold LT plus RB plus X, and you're going to get your opponent in this position right here. And if you move your opponent to the cage, it's going to start a submission. So as you hold your opponent in the position before you move them to the cage, it's going to be sapping their stamina. It is so cheesy. I mean, just super frustrating to get caught in it. But Jon Jones does it great. So if you want to play like that, get your opponent in that choke. Definitely a good way to get your opponent out of there. Now, you can also transition the clinch using RB and Y. So you have your opponent in this position. Again, you can do knees, but you do the choke. You can also do the choke from this position. Again, L2 or LT plus RB plus X. You're going to slide in this choke. So Jon Jones, obviously, or not obviously, but how you want to be playing with him again, keep your opponent at bay with kicks, mix up your kicks, keep them back, head, go to the head, go to the body, and if they try and get close, this is when you want to utilize that razor wire perk or his elbows and his knees, because Jon Jones has great elbows and knees. So one thing I'd like to do against somebody who's uppercut heavy, lots of people start throwing uppercuts and knees after you take them down a whole bunch. So somebody who's uppercut heavy or hook heavy, what I like to do, these slip elbows, or these pull counter elbows. These are great with Jon Jones. They do lots of damage, and if you catch your opponent in the middle of doing a strike with one of these, you can sometimes get knocks or rocks. Again, going back to that spinning elbow that I said had a niche use, this is its niche use. If you can intercept your opponent while he's throwing a strike with this elbow, it's going to do a lot of damage, and obviously sometimes you can get that rock or that knock. So just kind of to summarize everything we've gone over in here, keep your opponent back with kicks. When they get close, you're going to want to use your elbows and knees. Do not be afraid to use your elbows and knees as Jon Jones. Very dangerous, and I feel like they're much better than his striking, which his long limbs can sometimes feel slower than your opponent if they're just throwing out combos, and also isn't as strong as most other fighters in this division. So when you're close, knees, elbows, get in the clinch. Do not be afraid to get in the clinch. Work all of those moves. Also, in the clinch, after you've done some damage to the body and stuff, if you want to mix up clinch takedowns, get your opponent down, you do that one by doing RB plus A. A nice throw there. You're just going to want to mix up everything you're doing with Jon Jones. You want to use mixed martial arts, not just striking, not just grappling. Alright, so now we've gone over all that. Let's get into a quick play match, and I can try and demonstrate the things I was talking about here. Alright, so here we are in a quick play game. I'm not doing ranked because I don't have the time to just wait for ranked to become the light heavyweight division. Kind of annoying that they have like that in this game where you can't pick your division. But yeah, we're going to have to use quick play. It's going to be MMA, everything. This guy has a setting on no creative fighters allowed. Not a problem for me. Accelerated clock speed, and he's going to be playing as Dominic Reyes, which is a nice matchup here because I think this is a good fighter to demonstrate how you can try and keep them back with your kicks, because Dominic Reyes is going to be looking to box with you and kind of get in your face.
All right, coming up next, it's a UFC light heavyweight division collision.
All right. Get into the intros.
Ready. You ready to fight?
I always skip my intro.
All right, so here we go with the
Touch
start.
gloves.
Round one, I can tell how
He doesn't want to touch. All right, then let's fight.
striking advantage on one side, but hey,
Here we go. Start off with that kick to the body there, pushing back. Again, a lot of players are going to get frustrated when you start pushing them back a lot. Boom, beautiful spin to the body. Going to do good damage there.
really using his reach advantage.
And so when they get frustrated, they're going to start throwing a lot of overhands. And again, they're just going to not play as sharp as they can. Just get caught by an overhand there. Rocked early. Bad mistake. But that's another problem that you're going to have when you use these kickboxing heavy styles. You are going to whiff kicks sometimes, and your opponent's going to get good punishes off them. They're going to be able to do good counters. But, don't get discouraged if you miss one kick. Stick to your game plan. I'm going to push him back there with another kick. So this guy, he isn't pushing forward as heavy as a lot of players will. Again, we're going to hit him with another spin to the body there. And you can just already notice his stamina is getting pretty sapped. We're only 2 minutes into the first round, and he's losing a good amount of stamina because he's getting caught with these kicks as he's trying to come in. Obviously, strikes to the body are going to sap stamina and stuff like that. So I try and reach for the clinch there, but I miss. Push him against the cage, try and look at the clinch. Get a couple strikes in. Transition. And he's out.
Just over 20 total strikes have landed for Jon Jones.
So now I'm already starting to notice this guy after he caught the first overhand. He's throwing that overhand a lot. So I'm going to try and keep on trying to intercept him when he throws that overhand. Gets me there. Throws another one back to back. He's just throwing them out now. I was actually a misinput. Didn't mean to throw that kick, but still hit. We're fine. One thing that this guy was doing good is, kind of doing good, didn't really stick to it, is if you run into somebody like this who's kind of keeping you back with these kicks, throw those leg kicks. They can stop your opponent in the middle of their kick. You can even rock their legs, and if you compromise both your opponent's legs and their kickboxer, it's over for them, man. They're going to be moving slower. The kicks will be doing less damage. It's just going to be bad. So here we go. Look at this guy's stamina already in the first round. I mean, he's not looking good here. When I hit him with that T to the body. We dodged that overhand. That was nice. Little hook to the body, hook to the head. And keep him honest. I almost hit him with that kick there. I'm trying to catch him when he comes in with this overhand. Double jab. That knee as he comes in close. Look, he's getting close. Throws a knee of his own, and he gets inside the clinch. We're out. Boom, good check hook. And one last knee before the round ends. So you can see there, when he's getting close, I'm just trying to throw that knee. But in general, I'm trying to keep him back with kicks and mix it up. Also throwing that jab. Jon Jones has those long arms, so the jab can be useful keeping him back. Not going to glove touch. He's going to throw that silly leg kick. Alright, that's fine. Knee to the body there. Clinch. Getting a couple of clinch knees. Can block his front kick. And I'm going to try and take him down. We're going to get the back, and he gets out. That's fine. We don't need the takedown. Definitely feel like I'm better than this guy on the feet. Try and catch him with an overhand with a good kick here. Good kick to the head. Should be able to put him away. Again, he's just wailing it. Spin to the head. And he is out. Look at that. We should be able to pound him out here. And it's over for him. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good demonstration of how you can mix up with Jon Jones, keep your opponent back, get the good heads or get the good kicks to the head, and we get that nice knockout there as he tries to throw the overhand, the spin to the head. He says, "Well played, thank you, sir." Let's look at the replay. Boom, and he is out. All right, well, thank you guys for watching so much. Please like and subscribe if you like the video and if it was helpful. You already know. Cue the sick outro.